And joining me today is Tamara Sayer. Tamara is the co-chair of Synergy's Financial Literacy Program. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And we are going to talk about financial literacy, and I guess we should start by explaining what exactly is it?
Yeah, absolutely. Financial literacy is kind of a broad term that's used to describe two different pieces, one being financial education. It's also used to describe an individual that's in possession of a set of skills or a level of knowledge that would allow them to make informed and effective financial decisions.
Okay, so why is it important then that more people have a higher level of financial literacy?
Yeah, absolutely. So when we think bigger picture, people are a fundamental part of the economy. So in order to have a financially strong economy, we need to have a financially strong people. You know, over the years, we've seen an increase in the emphasis on financial literacy. The Saskatchewan education system is looking to implement a personal finance course to the high school curriculum. So it's awesome to see them take a lead on this and make it a priority. Having a high level of financial literacy allows someone to be better prepared facing life changes. So those changes could be personal, such as a health issue or job loss. They could also be economic, such as an increase in interest rates. So, you know, we think about those articles that were released regarding the Bank of Canada's announcement to increase prime rate. And in those articles, they shared quite a few different statistics. And one of them that really stuck out to me was that a third of Canadians feel like this increase would push them closer to bankruptcy, right? So that tells us that there's a gap and a need for financial education.
So what are some of the key aspects that would be focused on training for financial literacy?
Yeah, so there are really three key learning aspects with financial literacy: managing your money and debt wisely, planning and saving for the future, and protecting against fraud and financial abuse. So this is achieved by providing free and objective resources that would allow and assist someone to manage, plan, and protect their finances accordingly.
Okay, and what are some of the things that people can do day to day? If, you know, a lot of times when we're talking, even just in the newsroom, there's not a level of understanding as to, you know, who can start and save what and where you go for your savings and how much everybody knows. So, so what are some of the things that people can do just day to day?
Yeah, for sure. So when we think about someone being prepared for those life changes, it really does start with budgeting and saving. Anyone can get out a pen and paper and figure out where they stand every month. There are a lot of great options out there for credit monitoring, and there's a lot of great resources online, specifically on the Government of Canada's website. So it's a great resource to just look into. Yeah.
Okay, and I guess the other option too, they could come just into Synergy and ask to speak to somebody as well?
Absolutely, yeah. You definitely reach out to your financial institution, start that conversation. As you investigate into these things, you'll start to identify with areas of opportunity, and you can, you know, start to figure out or continue to build on your financial goals.
Okay, well, thank you so much, and we'll be back again next hour to learn more about financial literacy. And we are back with Tamara Sayer, who is the co-chair of Synergy's Financial Literacy Program, discussing financial literacy. As you saw in the first hour, I kind of explained a little bit about what that means. Now let's talk about Synergy specifically. So what is their financial literacy program?
Yeah, absolutely. So Synergy's Financial Literacy Program is managed by the Emerging Leaders Group, which is a group of staff that are looking to develop or refine their leadership skills. We established this program back in 2010. It's a free of charge, non-promotional program that we offer to the communities and surrounding areas that we serve.
And so what would be kind of your target audience for this?
Yeah, absolutely. So when we think about a healthy financial picture, we understand that that's not a one-size-fits-all situation, and neither is our program. It's versatile in that we can cater the presentation material to the audience. In the past, we've worked with school systems, nonprofit groups, small businesses, so we have the ability to make sure that the material is relevant for the life stage that our audience is in.
So what are some of the things that you get asked to discuss when you go in and make these presentations?
Absolutely, and we work closely with the organizer to determine that. We employ professionals or partner with professionals to allow us to cover a wide range of topics. In the past, when we're presenting with a younger audience, we may start with basics such as budgeting, credit scores, or different types of payment cards. If we are presenting to a more established audience, we may dive into more complex topics such as retirement savings, or estate planning, or cash flow and succession planning.
Is there one area that you see when you're working in this field that seems to be, I guess, more of a hotter topic area where there's, you know, more need for education?
Yeah, absolutely. So credit scores are, you know, one of the most important aspects of someone's financial picture, and in my experience, it's also the least understood. So credit scores are becoming more important. We see them playing a role in different types of applications, not just financing. We see that coming into play with respect to rental housing applications, employment applications. So you can imagine being in the dark on your credit, you are potentially facing a stop when it comes to that rental application or that employment application. So it's very important. You know, when we think about understanding your credit and monitoring it on occasion, you're also adding that extra layer of protection when it comes to fraud and financial abuse.
Now, just in regards to that, do you find that there are people who don't realize the importance of the credit score? Like, I know you see a lot of commercials about the credit scores now, and you know, people I think are a bit confused over what they actually are and what they mean. Like, is you know, what number is good? Do you find that there's a lot of confusion just around this, what the score means itself?
Yes, absolutely. You know, we would share someone's credit history with them, and they look at us and they're like, "What does that number mean?" Right? So, really taking the time to understand what those numbers mean, what contributes to that credit score, and where your areas of opportunity are to continue building that credit score.
And that is something that you guys can go through if somebody shows up and makes an appointment?
Yes, absolutely. We do take the time to review credit reports in detail with every member that we meet with.
Okay, and if people want to have a presentation or want to get information, even just on the credit score as a good starting point, I guess, what's the best way to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. So give us a call through our contact center, 866-825-3301, or they can send us an email if they'd like to line up a financial literacy presentation. Our email address is financialliteracy@synergycu.ca.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Once again, we continue our financial literacy series as part of Financial Literacy Month in Canada.